Over the past few years, it seems as though Nine Inch Nails has vacillated between the bizarre and the banal. On this new album, Hesitation Marks, there are things that I like a lot and things that I dislike a lot. Even some of the more banal stuff is pretty good along with the bizarre stuff. But there are parts, sometimes in the same song, where Trent seems to use melodies that I feel like I've heard him use before, and those parts I find really irritating. But then Trent Reznor will throw out a melody that seems so different from what I'm used to hearing from him that it doesn't even sound like he's singing for Nine Inch Nails anymore. And oddly enough, those are the bits that I like the best. Copy-Ova and Find My Way have some pretty lame parts, but they also have some pretty awesome parts too. Those were some of the first songs that I heard off of that album, and after hearing them, I wasn't sure if I would like the rest of it. But fortunately, the awesome parts far outnumber the lame parts on the album as a whole. I was kind of hoping that this album would sound more like Year Zero, my favorite Nine Inch Nails album, but interestingly enough, it actually ends up sounding more like The Fragile. And I do quite like The Fragile, so I'm glad that Trent Reznor went in that direction. It was pretty unexpected though, because it seemed like The Fragile was sort of this one-off experiment that Trent was doing. It had a lot of very weirdly tuned acoustic instruments with bits of electronics thrown in, and it didn't seem to me like he revisited that sound very much until Hesitation Marks. Some of the more experimental sounding songs are All Time Low and Running. All Time Low has these funk sounding guitar parts that sound very strange in a Nine Inch Nails song, and Running sounds like Trent had all of these extra samples and guitar riffs that he didn't know what to do with, so he just decided to throw them all into that song. I think my favorite tracks in this album, at least right now, are Satellite and Various Methods of Escape. Satellite also sounds a bit different for a Nine Inch Nails song. It sounds more like a sort of an underworld song. Various Methods of Escape and Everything are a lot brighter sounding than what people are used to from Nine Inch Nails. But I really, really like what they do with this new positive sound that they've developed. Some people were complaining about how radio-friendly the song Everything sounds, but if you're gonna do a radio-friendly song, I think Trent Reznor did it right. If you get the deluxe edition, you get 3 remixes on a second disc. Genesis P. Orge from Throbbing Gristle does a remix of While I'm Still Here, and it sounds pretty much what you would expect a song remixed by Genesis P. Orge would sound. He added his own vocals to the remix, and the original song doesn't sound very creepy, but the remix sounds extremely creepy. Overall, I like this album a lot more than The Slip, quite a bit more than With Teeth, and almost as much as Year Zero.